Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. All things Middle Earth here with another video in May. Today I want to talk about something that we talked about in a previous video, and that is whether or not Rise to War is free to play. Now, I made a whole video. If you want to go watch it, feel free to do so. But there were a ton of good comments. Overall, I think we all agree that Rise to War is a pay to win game. Like it has a pay to win model where the more you pay, the more you have. And that stuff that you can get from paying is very valuable. Again, we could go all day about it. I think no one disagrees that there is a pay to win aspect to this game. My argument, or not even argument, because I think some people misunderstood and heard me as like arguing that it wasn't free to play. My only thought was that there are other games in this genre of mobile strategy game that are worse than Rise to War. So there are some things you talked about that limit whales a little bit, and I think that's important. However, it needs to improve drastically. And there was one thing that was brought up more than anything else that I think we all agree would be a huge help to improve the free-to-play situation in Rise to War. Not to say the game wouldn't still make money, because again, if you're a dev or someone listening who reports to the devs, I think the better and like more happy your player base is, the more money it's going to make. It just has to be reasonable. And right now I think it's tipping closer to being unreasonable. And lots of players who used to play and enjoy the game are having a harder time. So I want to address that. So today, what we're going to do is we are going to talk about a matchmaking system in Rise to War. I have an idea for how I think this could work, so I want to present it to you guys. I want to hear what you guys think. And what we're going to do is we're going to submit it to the devs. I need your guys' help with this one. It is something I need you guys to do. So if you used to go to the Discord and go down to the suggestion creation channel, which is right above my head, there was a place you could put suggestions here and upvote them or downvote them. And we used to do these kind of like pushes where we'd say, hey, everyone go upvote this post on these things we want in the game. So the devs can kind of see what things are the most wanted by players, or what things we all agree on. They don't have that anymore. However, there is a forum right here you can submit stuff to, and we've done this before in this format. And basically it's a game suggestion form. So if you go to that suggestion, I'm going to put what I've typed here, which I'll talk about in a second, down in the comments, because I think in the comments you can copy and paste it easily. So I'm going to put that in the comments so you guys can take that and copy and paste if you want to. And the idea would be that the devs get hopefully dozens or even hundreds of these reports coming in where all these players are saying, we need a matchmaking something in this game. So again, I'm not saying it will work for sure, but we have done things like this before and had success. At least I think we brought it to their attention and maybe they've decided it's better for the game. But I'm hoping we can get some attention on it and we can get some improvement on this area of the game. So that's a super long intro. I wanted to kind of explain what we're doing. So if you don't even want to listen to the video and you're just like, yes, I want a matchmaking system in the game, go to the comments, copy this, and this website is linked in the description. So go to the description, go to the Google form, put the information in, and then right here it says elaborate on your suggestion, which is we need a matchmaking system in Rise to War. So I'm going to talk through it, the explanation for the matchmaking system coming up in just 1 second. Now, usually right now I would do an ad for my top up link. I'm not even going to waste time with it. Not waste. It is part of, how I do this for a living. So I will just say, even though we're talking about, the balance of free to play and spending, and so maybe it comes off poorly, not trying to make it that way. But if you are already spending and you're going to regardless, if you use the top up link in the description, it supports the channel, which allows me to make more content like this, where we can push for things we want in the game and hope we get some changes. So that's in the description. That's all I'm going to say about it. But I want to look at the actual post and I want to hear what you guys think, because I do think we could, flesh this out a little bit more, add some more things to it. But I think there are two main things we need in terms of a matchmaking system for Rise to War. Number one, we need account aged based matchmaking. The TLDR for this whole point is basically nobody going into their third season who have played this game for a small number of months should be playing against people who've been playing, or teams have been playing for 2+ years. It does not make sense. And in any other game that's successful, that is like the minimum you would have for a matchmaking system to at least protect newer teams. And there could be certain thresholds where there's servers where it's only season 3, and then it's less than 5, and then less than 7, and so on and so forth. And maybe once you get to 10 plus servers are a thing. I don't know. I think it'd be really, really easy to implement this in a way that players that are new to the game can experience it in a fun and exciting way and compete and not get rolled over by teams like my team. Like, I'm going to own it. We're in a server with a bunch of new teams. It's not fun for our team. It's not fun. It is a complete lose-lose. Our server has been sitting dead for I don't even know how many weeks. It's been over for a long time, which means all these people, for the most part, are not logging in. They're not spending. So NetEase, if you're watching, dead servers means people aren't playing the game, means they aren't spending on the game, which means the game doesn't make money, which means you guys don't make money and the game stops existing. That's how these things work. To me, this seems like a no-brainer. If we can avoid these kind of dead servers, that would be huge. So that's point number one. Point number two is I think we need a fellowship strength based matchmaking. Now I'll kind of elaborate on this. What I think should happen is I think every single tactician should have somewhere on their profile a strength score, or what I'm going to call it, strength, power, whatever, a score that you get based on the respect you have on commanders, and there'd be a value for tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 respect. The game would calculate and say, okay, and R7 Dane is worth 10 points, and then this banner, or it would go through your entire roster with your respect and say, okay, this is this many points. Then it would go through your entire gear bag and total up, the amount of gold items and purple items. All the gear pieces would have a value on them, and it would total you up a score, and it would say, hey, account power, let's say I'm 100. I don't know what it could be, a big number or a small number, does not matter. So if we have a score like that, which again does not change anything fundamentally in the game, it's just adding a system within the game's code that would allow it to total up and kind of quantify, value of accounts in terms of, strength that you have. So if I have a score, then that means my warband could also have a score that would be a total warband strength score. So let's say we have 100 people, whatever that would be, 100 times everyone's scores would be our score. And then you could also see what the average score per player is. So first of all, if this second point happens, that means when you're going in, you're hopefully in back in with a more refined matchmaking system, the game will put you with teams that are similar to yours. So it's even if you're long-term teams or a long-term player, you're still playing against people that are in your kind of realm or whatever. And if you are a new player or someone wanting to find a new team, you can look here and say, okay, hey, this team is honestly a little bit lower on average power than me, so I'm going to try and find one where I'm more in the middle ground, or maybe you want to be above it, whatever it is. It allows players to kind of see what the strength of a team is before they join to decide if it's something they want to do. So again, I don't think those things would be impossible to do. I'm not a coder. I've had other people comment and talk to me, because I'll make that comment and say, I'm not a coder. I'm not a game designer, developer. I don't know how difficult these changes we suggest are. Most people that I've talked to that are involved in this kind of stuff in their own jobs and their own professions seem to think it's not that difficult. This is not happening because it can't be done. Again, I don't know what hoops NetEase has to jump through to make changes, but if we got a matchmaking system with those 2 points I just talked about, I think it would be amazing for the game. Seriously, it'd be so good. Now, again, there's probably 100 things we could talk about that we need for the game to get better. I would like more of a counter system back, so fighting's a little bit more fun. There's 100 things, but I do think matchmaking is the one thing that a lot of people brought up in our video. So if you did comment, by the way, thank you guys. There were 99.9% of the comments were actually reasonable. People that had left the game or still here, negative, positive, but they were constructive, and we had some conversations. There was one outlier that was just nuts. I almost made a whole video on it, but I was like, you know what, we're not going to stoop there. It's not even worth it. So 99% of people that talked in the video were fantastic. So thank you guys if you were a part of that, because it did prompt this. But again, hopefully that makes sense. Let me know what you guys think about this. I think something like this, like I talked through, would make sense and would help a lot. So I want to hear what you guys think. What would you add to this? Is there anything that you think just doesn't make sense or I should get rid of? Either way, I'm going to put this in the comments and just hope that maybe if they get 100, 200, as many as humanly possible. Again, if you have a team and you're like, hey guys, we need to put this out to your team and say, hey guys, go to the Google form and copy in this thing. Again, if you agree with it, I hope you guys do, but let me know, because I do think if we started to get hundreds and even more sending this into their Google form saying this is what we want in the game, I think we could have some change. So again, maybe we won't. It doesn't hurt to try. That's what I'm here to do, is help facilitate, get us all together, focused on one thing. So let me know what you guys think of this. And that's it. A little bit short and sweet, less than 10 minutes. So hopefully you guys are having a great day, and I will see you very soon in the next video. Take care.